Hey guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd. Sorry we had some tech delays, but we are here and some stuff. And I guess I could say queer. But we are here with Jet Group's brainchild. He gets in his head and starts fighting, or has characters fight all the time running across his brain. But then he was like, hey, what happened if we did a character, Beatdown Royale with
Yes.
5 different teams? Well, I think it was 5. Yes, 5 different teams. We got MMPR, TMNT, Battletoads, Double Dragons, and Freakazoid. Which technically Freakazoid's not a team. He is a man of one, but he might as well be. So we are here now to talk about stats, to talk about characters, and to talk about who can beat each other's butt.
Yeah.
That is what this video is about. So start it off, Ruby.
All right. So you check this out. So I am a nerd, obviously. Not just in martial arts, clearly, but I'm a nerd. Oh, I say that like I'm not wearing a Cobra Kai jacket today. And actually, yeah, I see Yito's comment real fast. Yes, Battletoads did have a show. They had a show for I think 1 season, but they did have a cartoon series, and it was weird. Matter of fact, I think all of the characters that I picked out on, all of them had a series that was live action. The only thing that's different is that only Freakazoid and all this never had a video game. Not that I know of. I mean, if he did, let me know. I never heard of it. Because
I don't think he did actually.
I don't think he did either. I don't remember him having a thing. I mean, you didn't miss out, not really. Because I mean, Battletoads, if it's out there somewhere. Somebody has it. So I mean, just look it up and figure it out. Anyway, that's not even a song. I just started acting like I had a TV show somewhere in my head. But I was sitting up, doing my usual thing, drinking and wondering why the world is the way it is and why we can't all just get along. And I started thinking to myself, man, wouldn't it be? I think I was watching like a YouTube video about video games in general, and I think somebody was talking about was it Battletoads? Maybe no, it wasn't Battle. Something else. They were talking about no, I was watching somebody was talking about the obscure TMNT works and properties. Like, as you know, Ninja Turtles, they had a lot of Ninja Turtle stuff. There was also like 2 musical things they released. Christmas album special that's live action. I'm not making that up. They also had one that was like them. I guess like this is a musical thing. They were like trying to make a little movie in the park with a bunch of kids waiting on them to record the film, like some kid songs kind of thing. You remember kid songs?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really bad. Both of them were terrible. And they had like a whole. I don't know if you remember this either. But Ninja Turtles, they had like a live concert thing they did. They had a lot of stuff that was just really, really bad. And so when I was watching this, to escape that reality of, man, this is shit, I started thinking to myself, Turtles are pretty strong. I wonder if they could beat like the Power Rangers, because they had a whole thing with those 2 like franchises. Like the ones I'm going to use, not the same ones, but anyway, they crossed swords, and then they were like, hey, let's unite swords and fight the enemy. And the Turtles.
But I feel like the Turtles would be a better match against the Battletoads.
They would, but they might not. I'm gonna. I think I agree with you, but I have also concerns. So like, I'm gonna explain why. I'm trying to give my backstory to where I came to this point, so people don't think I'm just being entirely crazy.
You're being crazy. We already know you're crazy. So why are you trying to explain what we already understand? You nuts, man. So.
And I do see those comment about the Street Stars and Biker Masters Mars. I'm gonna get Dwight involved in a moment. Actually, I'm gonna get Dwight involved when I get to the list here.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the list and the stats of all the people that we're about to talk about. Hi, Kevin.
Hey,
welcome
Kev.
to the stream.
What was I saying?
I don't know. You get sidetracked very
easily. I know. That's on me. So, man.
Let me get my Vol pick so you can keep talking.
All right.
I like my Leon's Vol picks.
You gotta understand, Maria grabs the Vol picks whenever she needs to like basically find her happy place.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like, so she can kind of take a step back. So natural step forward, like, I have questions. Anyway, so
I have Naga behind me too.
So, oh yeah, you do. I see.
I do have Naga. Yeah.
But okay, sorry. Yeah, what was I saying? So, yeah, when I was thinking about, it, I was like, man, Power Rangers and the Turtles, they work together and blah blah blah. And then I was thinking to myself, hold on, we forget about Battletoads. They were pretty awesome. And then my brain was like, I got an idea. So that's where this whole thing.
And when he got the idea, he Marco Polo'd me. Hey Maria, we need to do a video about this. I'm like, what? Because see, I wasn't on this realization, train. I wasn't in this epiphany mode that he had while he was doing that. I was literally watching Soul, which is a very good, like for me, kind of like live action Demon Slayer series on Netflix in Korea. And that I have nicknamed bulgogi because for some reason I like saying grilled meat in Korean.
Why would you keep calling it bulgogi?
Because I don't eat meat, so I figure I just might as well just put it out there. Besides, I misread it when I first watched it, and I was like, I'm watching bulgogi, and it just became a thing in my house. So now everybody
you know what's funny about that? I was just telling Jam last night. I was like, you ever notice that Japanese live action movies, the acting is really bad? But Korean dramas acting is phenomenal. You ever notice that difference?
Yeah, well, it depends. I can say that there are some Japanese movies that are actually very well acted. It depends on the genre, but we got to understand that a lot of Japanese movies are based off of manga and anime, and Korean dramas.
And that's the problem. I saw a video before where Japanese people were saying that the live action movies based on anime are awful. A lot of them feel like the acting is terrible when they turn to live action. And I was like, because like we have the same problem that DCEU have the time, so I can't like. It is what it is. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
So we're gonna get back on track because DCU is gonna get me started talking about Peacemaker, which I am in love with right now.
I know. Yeah, I have.
That's a whole other video that I'm doing. So
I have to watch it. I may even join her on a review, an episode.
Yeah, we need to do a review because there's 3 episodes out right now. I'm 2 in, and I'm absolutely in love with that show. So
I mean, hell, I haven't even watched Hawkeye yet. I got a lot of catching up to do. I've been naughty. I have been naughty on my nerdisms.
All right, back to this video. I got to wheel you in again. So let's talk about our characters and talk about you did your train. You got your train. You know how you woke up. Start going on the list so we can start having fun with this.
Okay, so I got it on a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So there's a team of 5 members, 4 members, 2 members, and 1 member. And the way I put together was not just on the fact that they were I'm gonna put it. They're from nostalgia. These are much older franchises. That some people may not even know. Hopefully, all of you in the chat do. If you don't, Google it. They're everywhere. But also, I was talking to myself, like, if we put them in a real fight, who would win? And I try to make it balanced, so whereas like they have enough weaknesses to combat their strengths and vice versa. So the team of 5 is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Not Zoo Ranger. No. Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Because obviously my opinion would change if it was a Sentai.
Exactly. Oh yeah, well that's way different. And this means a 5. That means no, guys, Tommy is not involved in this fight. There's no Green Ranger with the gold vest or White Ranger with the gold crest. There's no. That was a good rhyme. I like that one. But yeah, like that doesn't exist here. We're talking about the original first 5, the symbol 5 Teenage Attitudes 5. We're talking about them. Of course, the TMNT. This does not include Mona Lisa. This does not include I forget the other. I always forget her name. The other the 2 female turtles that get introduced, but not involved in this. It's just Mikey, Raph, Leo, and Donnie. The Battletoads, the 3 of them. It's Zitz, Pimple, and Rash. Double Dragons, Billy and Jimmy, or if you're familiar with the games, Bimmy and Jimmy. Oh, it's because in the games back in the day they translated bad, and Billy's name was translated as Bimmy. So it was like Bimmy Lee and Jimmy Lee.
That was like the off-brand version of Ryu and Ken for a little while.
They kind of were actually. Yeah. And then the team of 1 is Freakazoid. And you could be thinking like, oh man, I've heard of Freakazoid in forever. And I'm gonna explain to you why I use Freakazoid. And you don't realize how powerful he is until you realize just how powerful he is. Oh my god. Okay. So thank you, Yito. I see the professional poet. Yeah, I do poetry a lot. I do a lot of poetry. I'm a big. My writing style is mostly on poetry. So let's go over the stats and facts. So with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, okay, let's get them out the way first. The Power Rangers themselves, they're in the suits. Give them where their power's coming from. Like without the suits, they're kind of just they're exactly regular people. Most people don't think about this though. The suits are supposed to be armored, and they look like spandex on the shows because it's like if they could really make armored
Lycra,
suits,
but it's pretty. Yeah,
yeah.
they have
If you,
Lycra suits.
yeah, like if you could literally make flexible armor like that for real, the military would go to your show, cancel it, steal the technology, beat everybody's ass for not saying something in the first place, and then let the show resume. Because like we don't have armor that breathes like fabric, not like that, not like even if you say bullet, because bulletproof armor is still susceptible to knives and stuff in reality. So like getting out the way. So yeah, like they have these cool metal suits that have this really cool like whatever they may look like this, but they're metallic. They can keep them protected. The suits do enhance their abilities that they already have. Unfortunately, I could not find any measure because they're one of those like Ninja Turtles and stuff. There is this early 90s franchises for us anyway. They had that thing where they're as strong as they need to be for the show or the episode of the day. So we don't know how much it quantifies anything, but we do know that it gives them more durability. If you have more durability, you have more strength. The more you can take, the more you can give, obviously. I want to give them
disclaimer this one too, that when we're talking about MMPR, we are not referencing Boom Comics because Boom Comics ups their game a little bit more. This is like classic TV MMPR.
Thank you, Maria, because I forgot to mention that. That's a good point.
Just because I know somebody might say it. We're not talking about Boom Comics here. We're talking about
we're talking about the classic
original.
Because I can hear the comment section going off. But what about when Tommy's not in this fight? Well, what about when Jason told Trini and then they threw like this and Tommy lifted up an entire mountain? Once again, Tommy's not in this. Please calm down. Actually, that's nowhere near actually the Boom Comics. They didn't do anything like that. But
yeah, well, this is pre all that before we even realized what the Morphin Masters were. All of that stuff. This is all pre that. So just basic them like Nerdy Billy. Cheerleader, you're tangling my hair in the suit, Kimberly. Calm and collected.
Amy Jo Johnson is a treasure.
She was a gymnast, so I'll give her that.
Yeah.
Cheerleader.
Trini
actually did martial arts. I think didn't Trini do Tai Chi? I can't remember. I think she was doing like Tai Chi in the opening.
It looked like Tai Chi. I'm pretty sure it was Tai Chi. Because it'd be anything else, honestly, but I'm sure it was Tai Chi.
Yeah. Zach had dance foo.
hip hop keto is what we call it in the streets. Hip hop keto. Zach.
Jason actually had martial arts training. Well, Zach had martial arts. His actor, Walter, said he actually had martial arts training.
He did.
But they stereotypically, because he was the black guy, he had to dance to anything hip hop and be the Black Ranger because that was very problematic.
Wasn't it a weird thing? When oh my god, remember back when the promo pilot came out and everybody said Zach, a love for life, and he was just like snapping his fingers and stuff. And I was like, yo, as a kid I didn't get how racist that sounded. But as an adult I'm like, everybody else had this really cool like thing about them, but the Black Ranger, black guy, Zach, a love for life because he likes dancing and fighting when he dances. Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. But no, Walter Jones, who I've met, by the way, he's a really cool person. He's really well.
I surpassed you because I had a personal shout out from Maji Green. So said my name, got the video, called me out. I was like, gave me a free doll. I'm like, I
have actually met. His name's just on mine right now, but the guy that does Max's voice on a Goofy movie. I don't know why I can't remember his name at the moment. I got pictures with everybody I meet.
As a voice actor, other voice actors, just a disclaimer, don't impress me. but Maji Green, that was
Fooey. Anyway, but as I was saying though, no.
But we got back to our Power Rangers. We got to make sure.
Yeah. Sorry. So, suits are supposed to be armored, obviously. The suits do enhance their abilities. They do have, because I know the Power Rangers can take explosions, blasts. I mean, they've even taken cars to the face. And got back up or like cut through it.
Well, to be fair though, I've always noticed it depends on the episode and who the episode is about. Because
That's so true.
Other Power Rangers get their butt whooped by a vacuum cleaner unless it's their episode. Then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh no, I can take this torpedo." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
For some reason, like they get the Power Rangers have that classic '90s power up. It's the power within. You gotta believe in yourself. But I'm sorry.
So their ultimate attack is the power of belief, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, the power of friends, like in anime, like One Piece or Dragon Ball Z or any shonen anime. To be honest with you.
Okay. I got you.
So they have more durability. I want to say speed, and I did put speed in my notes, but they can teleport when needed. So,
well, can I ask you a question then?
What's that?
In a fight, since they have Megazords, can they just get in the Megazord and stomp people?
They could try, but the people they're fighting against, every one of these teams, every other people below them can easily defeat metallic creatures. So, like, well, I mean, I say easily, but they can.
It's harder though when you have something the same size as a Gundam, though. It's a little difficult.
These are very true things you speak. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. That's what. But that is honestly, out of all their stats, that is their biggest advantage. That they have Zords. They can't survive the vacuum of space. That has nothing to do with the fight on Earth. It's just something I want to throw in there. Since they can take the impact of cars and explosions, I put in here they can take probably 1 to 3 tons of 1 to 4 tons of impact. So they probably got a strength level, maybe 1 to 3 tons of strength. Because if you can take, and this is real life, if I punch you as hard as I can and you take it like a champ, chances are you can throw it back if you know how to. That's another thing. If you know how to throw it back.
Well, we are in the impression that all of them have these skills because Power Rangers don't have to have the ability to fight. There's for some reason it's just programmed into them when they morph.
For whatever reason.
Because Billy was not a fighter, but when he got in the suit.
Man, that was a weird thing. Billy Yost, when is it Billy Yost? Sorry, Yost, Mr. Yost. When he was on the show, he was the biggest nerd and everything else. But in real life, he was this awesome gymnast. And he was amazing. And they had him being like this whole I remember the Super Nintendo game. He would crouch when he punched people. Like he's like, what the world is going on? But then he get to be in the Blue Ranger. He's like, let's do this, and he'd be jump kicking and spinning like the Japanese actor that played him. But
that happens in Sentai too. So I mean, it's not just it's not just us. But yeah, for some reason, when you get in that suit, you get that power up. And the suit like programs your brain. If you really think about it, if on every level it's brainwashing, because this is like I feel powerful, and now it's telling me to go and kick and punch people. Like the suits are evil. It's like Xavier and X-Men, Xavier's Children Army. Like my children from my magical school. But, I train them to whoop your ass. I'm like,
I think there's a bot in the chat. You might want to get rid of that.
I will get rid of it. I'll block it. Yeah, I get them every so often now. Sometimes they're a little.
They come everywhere. They come into my stuff too. It's ridiculous. Sorry, but I'm actually glad she mentioned that about the mind erasing thing and all that stuff because the suits enhance the strongest attributes of the wearer. So. For example, when Billy got the suit, he was even smarter than he usually is. The same way, like when Jason got the suit on, he was even stronger. When Kimberly got the suit on, she was even more. So she was quicker.
She was more agile.
Agile, that's it. Yeah, the Yellow Ranger. When Trini got the suit on, she was faster. So like, whatever traits you have that are strongest for you, the suit makes that your.
He stopped dancing
and hit hard. He got his axe out
harder, but he didn't have his hip hop keto or hip keto anymore. So I don't know what that was about, but I know what it's about. They were cheap and used Japanese footage, but I digress. They could have done something else. They could have had him line dance or something. I don't know.
This is why the team of them as a 5 will work best for them because their strength is inconsistent. They don't always know what they're doing when they're fighting. The teamwork is not the greatest until they have to combine their powers together for one ultimate attack.
Think about that. Good motivating speech.
Oh yeah, no, they do have that. The ability to speak for one as one.
The ability to motivate each other in battle.
But the biggest advantage is, without a doubt, the weapons they have and the Zords they possess. Those Zords give them an overreaching advantage. However, the other people coming down the list can fight Zords. Their success rate varying depending. especially the one can easily defeat any of them, but he has a lot of disadvantages too. We'll get to that. So let me move on down the line. So next up, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So turtles themselves are considered semi-superhuman. What that means is they're around the peak or more of superhuman capabilities. And I had to look into what they meant when they said this. So remember that Batman fought the Turtles. They made that canon for some reason. Don't ask me why. They just did. Because they're in Injustice 2, and they're also in a Batman crossover by themselves.
They're in a lot of stuff. They've been empowering.
They jump back and forth. I couldn't decide on which turtle group to use for this one. So I decided to go with not the 80s and 90s turtles because they're incredibly weaker. Instead, I went with the ones that are I went with the classic idea of the turtles instead.
I used the 90s picture for our thumbnail, but I was going more on the comic book because they look closer.
Yeah, the comic book makes more sense for this one. Yeah, because the 80s, 90s comic, 80s, 90s cartoon version of the turtles, they're dwarfed for real, and they don't even fight. Honestly, they kind of they jump, kick stuff, and laugh, and eat pizza, and high five, and eat ice cream. So
there's nothing wrong with any of that group. Hater.
I'm not even.
So we're not doing Venus, and we're not doing Jenica, right?
Yeah, Jenica. That's her name. Thank you. You're not doing it.
I was just waiting to see if you're gonna suss that out. I'm a bad friend, but you took too long. So
no, I'm on my notes right now. I'm not in the internet looking up her name. That's why. Thank you, Jenica.
I actually didn't look up her name. I knew what it was. I just didn't help you out. So anyway,
can't forget we're not in love anymore.
I mean, we had to be in love in the first place. What the hell? All right. So let's see here. So we're just straight up doing just the core 5.
Yeah. So do core 4.
Okay, 4. I don't want. Yeah. I always add Splinter every time because he's always a member to me.
We can't have Splinter in the fight because Splinter would overwhelmingly. Splinter gives them
KO everybody.
Splinter is like turning Goku to a Super Saiyan. That's not fair. So he can't be in this fight. He's letting his turtles go forth and be amazing. So yeah, Superhuman. Okay, I put this in my notes so y'all will know. By the standards of the comic book, okay, first and foremost, the turtles are mutated by the same nonsense that made Daredevil blind. That's really how they set the characters up. I'm not making that up for the comic books. However, which is weird.
I also refer to it as Nickelodeon slime, but that's fine. Go ahead.
That's even better. I like it. they got slimed.
They got slimed
by the ooze. TGRI if you watch the movies. TCRI if you know the comics. But but when they fight Batman, Batman's a bit stronger than them. However, and this makes no sense, but I'm going to say it. Batman can bench press slightly more than a ton of weight. So
does not make any sense at all.
So, which makes him way stronger than Captain America.
I mean, and there's no bat serum involved.
None.
It doesn't make a lick of sense
at all.
I've been calling BS on that stat for years. That is
oh my god.
Yes.
Batman can bench press an elephant.
That man can bench press a pack of Krispy Kreme donuts. That's all I'm saying he can do. No, I'm not claiming that. We are not claiming that. So yeah.
Oh man. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
It's perspective, guys. But I like how you even in the notes you wrote slightly weaker than Batman. And see, and in my instance, I disagree with this. Because I think if Rap was trying, he'd be like Bane, pick his ass up and just break his back.
Break his back. Which then goes to say Bane is stronger than the Turtles. And it doesn't sound like it makes sense in your head, but we're gonna get to that. Because we're not going on Michael Bay's version made them like fucking Transformers.
Well, Bane obviously is stronger than everybody in the Justice League because Batman has contingency plans for everybody and can beat everybody. But Bane snapped him like a twig. So I mean,
Bane was like, you think your money has power over me?
I'd be like, I'm sorry. Can you say that again? Enunciate.
Your money doesn't have power. Anyway,
still don't get it.
So okay, yeah, sorry. They're slightly weaker, but the Turtles their reflexes, durability, and speed are beyond Batman's, which once again, physically doesn't make sense. We're going to count it up as a skill prospect because they're ninjas. Their shells are bulletproof. And that being for real. Because even the cartoons, when they went to their shells, all projectiles bounce off of them. Like for some reason, if something broke their shell, it was an indicator to everybody watching or reading that this is a very strong opponent because the shells don't stop it. So that's a thing. They also have a healing factor. And this is not just to the Michael Bay movies, which I don't like very much, but even in the comics, even the cartoon, they heal quickly, but they're also, mutated. So it kind of makes sense. Like they can take wounds that should kill you and heal in like a day or two.
So, technically speaking, they should be at Xavier School of Gifted and, let
Actually,
out and assign children as well.
Yes.
Gotcha. So TMNT, you need to get that scholarship.
Marvel, get on this.
Seriously,
get
these 4 out of the sewer and give them a scholarship in a dorm room. Just saying.
These turtles are like 16 years old. Get them out from underneath their dad's house, learning how to beat people in the face, and put them in real schools. They can learn like how to count and read. Anyway, so
and real talk, they've been 16 for a lot of years.
Yeah, I'm so serious. How old are they? But one of their biggest contributing factors is ninja skills and their teamwork. They have the ninjutsu, which helps them tremendously. And of course, their teamwork is top notch. Like it really is. It's only under the double.
I like they have a really strong healing factor too. Even though in the cartoon they kind of downplayed it a lot because they would get hurt and it would take a very long time for them to heal.
I know, right? But they do have that. Like they kind of bounce back quick. Just so you know, between all 4 of them, Leo has he's the martial artist type. He's more of a tactical fighter. Raphael is physically the strongest. But he's, that's who he plays off of. Don is the strategist, the smart one. But Don, if y'all don't know, Donatello is the weakest turtle. He is
the smartest turtle.
Yeah, he's the smartest one, but also the physically weakest one. And Michelangelo, he's just very, very unpredictable and has a lot more agility. I mean, you can tell he break dances in the cartoon intro. So I mean, like, he's their Black Ranger.
There's
nothing wrong with it.
Hop keto food. But well, I mean, okay.
I did.
Leo is the one that trains you how to fight. Raphael is your bodyguard. Don does your homework, and Mikey takes you to all the best parties. I mean, I don't see the problem.
It's funny you say that because I remember in the cartoon they make Raphael like a party guy too. People more like Michelangelo won't be like, "Let's go on the dance floor, dudes," and Raphael be like, "Let's get some drinks at the bar." That's like the difference between the two of them.
And Leo's like, "I'm already at home." Exactly. And Don never left.
Leonardo's like, "I'm gonna go home, guys. I got some practice."
No, Don never left the house. He's been in the lab the whole damn time. Leo's like, "I'm not babysitting you, asshole. I'm going home."
It's like Leo's like, "I'm gonna go home, guys. I got some practice to do." And he gets in, and Donatello's like, "Oh, Leo, you're back already?" He's back
because I'm smart, I realized that I should not have left the
no, hell no. Like I'm not around all those people. They don't like us. We're turtles. We're amphibians. No, we're reptiles. Sorry, but anyway, we'll get into
all right. So let me say. So are we pitting right now? MMPR against TMNT in the first battle.
We can, but let me get all the stats first. I mean, I've dicked around.
I think you should do stats as you go. I think these 2 teams you did the stats for. So finish out the TMN and then do that, and then when we move to the next 2, we'll do stats, and it just makes more sense. That way you remember them all.
Actually, it's true story. I'm also got my notes, so I can't forget them. But
no, I meant the people we're talking to. They don't have your notes, so that's why.
Yes,
the audience. Right. I know, education, man. All right, so all the best public schools. So we already had the stats for MMPR. We did break down the weapons for TMNT, but you didn't for MMPR. So we know that
Mammal Power Rangers are a little bit different because they're not consistent. Like
the turtles. Kim had a bow, had her power bow. We know that Kimberly.
Yeah, Kim.
Trini had the daggers.
Trini, the power daggers for Trini, the bow for Kimberly, the sword for Jason, the axe / gun for Zach.
Yeah.
And the lance for
Billy.
Yeah.
And then in TMNT, we had the bow staff for Don. Mike had 2 nunchucks. Ralph had sais, and Leo had katanas.
And if we want to play this to be truly fair, they also had other ninja weapons. I know Michelangelo also had a Kurisawagawa, which is that like a sickle on a chain. He also had that. Leonardo also carried ninja stars. Donatello His staff can go into a 3-section, I think. Not his original one, so we're gonna skip that. And Raphael, he's the one that usually carries the smoke pellets. He also I won't go over that as far as because I'm gonna go too far into the.
Yeah, we don't want to add too much to it. So
yeah.
let's just go on the traditional weapons. So 2 katanas for Leo, 2 sais for Ralph, bow staff for Don, 2 nunchucks for Mikey versus our MPR. Now, if we were gonna pit them against each other, Kimberly would be hard.
It would honestly. They would if we played it as an episode, they would give the Turtles the win based upon how they strategize as a team. If you're asking me personally, the Power Rangers outstrength them and outspeed them and outnumber them by a huge margin.
They definitely outnumber, plus they have blasters.
Yeah.
And then again, I'd have to, my logic, whenever I've watched Super Sentai for years, years, and I've always had this opinion that
surely has, guys, trust me.
they take too long in the fights. I mean, honestly, if you want to pose because you want to have your music to play in the background, that's one thing. But I mean, in a real life scenario, if there are all these little cog monsters or creepy monsters running around, I'm going to summon my Megazord. I'm just going to step on it. So, I mean, that's it. It's like, blam, problem averted. I don't understand. So why are we wasting time with this?
So I think in this scenario, while they were trying to monologue and give their speech and tell them why you eat too much sugary cereal, that's why you won't graduate from high school, whatever they're trying to tell you. The Turtles would have been scattered out and use a formation to knock people unconscious. And since their suit is only as strong as their helmet is on them, I'm gonna say they had to figure that out quickly. But the Turtles are notorious for headshots. So because if you haven't noticed, I mean, the comic book version, they will cut you through. I think one of them will try to use their weapon, maybe Michelangelo, against their suits and break his chuck.
I think if they're going team to team, maybe they can just do them Turtle versus Power Ranger, just see who would win. I'm really curious, especially Jason versus Leonardo. Who do you think would come out?
Okay, we're talking about like them sword against sword, Leonardo whip his ass because Leonardo's skill is so much higher, and we're talking about characters. Leonardo can use his strength to its fullest if he needs to because he's properly trained. Jason is not trained to use the suit to its fullest potential. So, like,
true. Now, are we talking Jason? Or are we talking Red Ranger? Because Red Ranger is the brainwashed version of Jason.
I mean, okay, that's true.
Says, you are cooler than you thought you were.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is true. But as far as using like maximum power, I don't know if he would. Even then, if you're swinging because his sword is dual wielded. If you're swinging a dual wielded sword, all your strength against somebody with 2 swords that can outmaneuver you. The only problem is that I don't know if Leonardo's sword is made of just basically steel can cut through Jason's armor. That's the downside effect. So like, we
know that I think Jason would have Red Ranger would have a problem because of the shell.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they both would be at a disadvantage in terms of that. But
I feel like Jason would start shooting at him when Leonardo was moving. Like, gotta catch him.
Yep.
And they were like, nice try, dude.
Yeah, so it's really a ninja versus pre-ninja MMPR.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
So that would be an interesting fight.
Yeah, I think on the technique front, the Turtles have the easy W. Since the Turtles can only deliver at the most. Like, if you can take a ton of damage because you can usually give out more than you can take. So like, if you can receive, because if you hit something as hard as you could, you break yourself. That's how people are made anyway. So like, if you can take a ton of damage, chances are you can give maybe 1.5 back. Maybe. I mean, that's a huge gross overestimate, but still.
Yeah.
So
well, the good thing is when we're out on the battlefield, we're not doing geometry.
Yeah. unless you're Spider-Man.
True. It's too soon, bro. It's
too
soon.
It's too soon. I won't. But I love that movie.
But no, like I think like this is hard because Jason versus Leo, they both have weaknesses and attributes. So it really depends.
It really does.
Because again, Jason versus Leo would have his ass handed to him. Let's just be clear. Jason would die.
Yeah.
Leo would kill
straight up. Straight up, yeah, no,
But Red Ranger
he
versus
get the dead.
Leonardo, that's different because he has, again, he's brainwashed. He has, he has all of these abilities that Jason doesn't have.
Yeah.
So
Jason becomes part of the Matrix. He's in the grid now, and it's
pretty
just
much
feeding him information.
He is the good Google Chrome update. So I don't know. For me, it's hard. I can't figure out. I mean, what do you guys think? Tell us in the comments who you think would win between Jason and Leonardo, because that's a hard one.
I want to say Leo because I like him more, but at the same time, that just my love for the character overriding my because.
Yeah, you try to be fair and you try not to cater towards your bias, but it's hard. I know. I'm kind of having that.
But at the same time, these two groups work better in team. When they're solo acts, they don't usually do as well.
Yeah,
unless we go into future properties, which we're not doing.
No, we're doing nostalgic.
Yeah, there's too many stats to put in on that one. Like, oh my god, there's so many stats.
All right, well, I got a better one for you then, group. How about Mikey versus Trini?
Mikey.
Nunchucks versus daggers.
Mikey.
I don't know.
I say Mikey. I say Mikey only because
I don't know.
Because Trini is very exacting. She's very precise. She's calculated. When you think too much against somebody who doesn't think at all, it's very hard to fight those kind of people. Because they have the techniques, they have the training. It's like they let muscle memory just take control. They just do whatever, and there's no pattern. If there's no pattern to somebody who's very calculating, it throws you off your fight game.
Well, okay, so this is my opinion. So the one thing I will say that Trini has over Jason, even though Jason has martial arts training, is that he's not really good with swords. Trini, and Kevin reminded me in the comments, she didn't just do Tai Chi, she also studied Kung Fu. Mm-hmm. And her entire family. So I honestly would say Trini, because Trini has when you watch the series, it's always Trini that is the voice of reason. She's the logical one.
Yeah.
She's not the overthinker. That's Billy. Billy's the one that overanalyzes the hell out of everything. She's the one that sits back and watches. Those are the ones you need to be scared of. They're the quiet ones. That's the ones you need to fear.
This is true.
Mikey jumps straight in. He does not have a plan. He's like, I'm just gonna do it. And she'd be like, not today, mofo. So I can see Trini whooping his ass. I
will put it like this, and why I disagree with it. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but disagree why she would win. Donatello is just like Trini and Billy and cannot be Michelangelo.
Now, Donatello is nothing like Trini. Donatello he has self-esteem issues. He talks, he's
don't get me wrong. He's Trini always in his own head. Like this is true. He's always in his own head. But Donatello is their strategist. He's the weakest one physically. All he does is strategize. He comes up with, even in the comic books, when they come up with strategies like far as attack plans, that's Donatello's those are his plans. He does that.
No, I agree. He's a strategist. But see, and you know this because you read comics too. Just because you are a strategist on your team does not mean you are effective. You could have very good strategists like Batman,
Michelangelo.
But then you look at some of our other strategists, like people don't realize that Booster Gold is actually a strategist. He's a very narcissistic strategist.
Extremely narcissistic.
But he's a strategist. And he's just very bad.
I will posit this. I will posit as a response to that. Remember, Michelangelo has tripped up Splinter, Leo, and Raph at a time. He has done this. Leonardo. Michelangelo's skills are actually, and this is going to hurt their case, but Michelangelo's skills are dampened when he was in the group. Because Michelangelo, out of all the turtles, he's the one turtle that does best on his own because he's so unpredictable. When it comes to fighting, now I'm about to go martial arts for a second here. When it comes to fighting for real, when it comes to fighting with strategy and with technique, everybody is their technique gives them, especially to an extent. When you're an expert at fighting, you really understand the strategy and the battle direction. Don't get me wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a really good skill to have. But masterful people, we create in their own mindset. Out of all of those turtles, Michelangelo is the most masterful because he's the most artistic with his fighting style. When you go against somebody, and you can see this, and even in UFC, what's his name? Adesanya, the black guy from I can't remember what country he's from. Anyway, he was kicking ass for the longest. Matter of fact, most black fighters that get in the ring, it's so racist I say that way, but a lot of the ones that fight with more original styles win for a long time until people find out their pattern, figure it out. It takes a while. When somebody goes to a fight with no real pattern, they end up unless they're just weaker, completely weaker, they end up winning the fights. And I say that because when you fight against somebody that has all the skills from muscle memory. Like they've been doing this stuff forever. So their brain, like they know when they come up with a strong block here, their mind might tells them this here, whatever else. This is one thing, but if you're an unpredictable fighter, like you go based on how the flow of the fight goes, they're hard. They're so hard to beat, which is why they win so many fights. There's a fighter, a kickboxer. His name is Manson Gibson. Look him up if you don't know him. Manson Gibson. I think his knockout ratio was over 80 of his fights ended in knockouts. He only lost 15 out of like 200-300 fights, whatever. And he was going in like kickboxing, about doing Muay Thai with like karate, taekwondo, like traditional styles, and was making him look stupid because his fighting style was so loud and unpredictable. So like unpredictability when it comes to fighting is a huge factor.
Well, let me ask you a question to counter that then. So because I still think my money's behind Trini. So, and I've taken Taekwondo, I've taken Kendo. I love martial arts. I'm not as in tune with you because you've gone your whole life, but I'm not a stranger to martial arts.
Yeah, I know.
I'm also an old school gamer, which means the girl played Street Fighter, Killer Instinct, you name it. And so what you're describing to me is what I used to say in the arcade when people used to come and put their quarter up on the machine and then they just button smash. And then sometimes they'd luck out randomly and beat you. But then when you realize what they were doing, you're like, oh, okay, you're one of those. And
I'm not even opposing to that. I'm not even opposing that because that's actually a very accurate way of putting it. No lie.
When I talk about Trini, this is what I see between her and Michelangelo. He's got skill, but he's out there swinging. And she's like, oh, she studies it and then she whoops his ass. And that's Trini. Now, Yellow Ranger, she kill him.
Like I said, the only real difference is Michelangelo, he may be in a sense button mashing, but he still has like trains. He says he can work.
I know. I told you he has skills, but I mean,
like Michelangelo, he does have some. Like Michelangelo has strategy, but he ignores it. So it's like it's like the Last Ronin. We're going to other Ninja Turtles properties right now, but if y'all don't know The Last Ronin, you should read it. It's kind of neat. I haven't read it all myself, honestly, but it's pretty cool. Once the other three brothers died, and this is Michelangelo left, and he's fighting on his own with all their weapons. You see how powerful he actually is. He knows how to use all their techniques. He knows how to use all their weapons, and he's doing this alone, by the way. Michelangelo he was a sillier pushover once he just had his family with him. But by himself, he's highly capable. He's overconfident. He's over good. I don't want to say that's
no. I agree with. Like I said, it's not even a matter of his skill set. That's how he applies it. Like if I'm gonna be the lawyer for Trini, I'm gonna counter again with, well, this was the 90s. She was a female Yellow Ranger. She was not in charge. She was not the Red Ranger. She wasn't the Green Ranger. They were never gonna make Trini badass on that team. But if you look at her skill set, she should have been up there.
No, she should have been.
She studied kung fu her whole life. If you look at JC and Tommy, yeah, we got into martial arts when we were 8, 10, blah, blah. Her whole family, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's generational. So that's bullshit. So I call bullshit on that.
Granted but that puts her and Michelangelo in the same category. So
but I still think that her being a level-headed and being able to think and analyze puts her above Michelangelo because he's not trying to. He is out there swinging. She could hold his head and he'd just be swinging around and she'd just be whooping his ass.
We put it that way. If Michelangelo has his family there, he plays and has fun because he has backup. If he is on his own, it's not the same fight anymore. Michelangelo by himself.
Well, I guess we just agree to disagree. I'm sticking by Trini, Yellow Ranger.
I'm going Michelangelo on this one.
We gonna move on, or we gonna be here all day talking about these two.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I got it. I say Trini, you say Michelangelo. Let's go to the next ones.
Now, if you said Blue Ranger versus Donatello, I say Blue Ranger. Honestly, all day long. Like Billy will whoop Don's ass.
That was what I was about to say. Blue Ranger versus Donatello.
Yeah, no, Don would lose. Don would lose wholeheartedly. There's no way. Don would. Okay, he would look pretty while doing it though.
Donatello would destroy Billy, but Donatello probably would have his ass handed to him.
Oh, the Blue Ranger would stomp him. It would be embarrassing. Like he would be flipping and like, yeah, I got this, huh? And flipping the stick and doing attacks and jumping on it and going through the air. Blue Ranger.
Oh, we're talking the classic Billy Blue Ranger.
Classic Billy Blue Ranger, yeah. But like, no, Blue Ranger. Full Power Ranger mode, Billy would kick Don's ass. Donatello would have a little bit of fun, be like, huh, you're not so tough, and then get hit, pop, and fall out.
Now, see what, and you know what would really happen in reality? These two fools would be talking and be like, "What are you doing?" "I'm using Graham's equation." "I love that equation." Then they start nerding out. They sit on the sideline talking crap. I'm like, "This is the stupidest fight ever." Look, Ellen Chippendale's like Kimberly and Trini versus Jen and Katie from Time Force. We really should do a Power Ranger SmackDown. That would
you know
be
what though?
that might be on our list.
Good next video idea. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we'll do a Power Ranger SmackDown.
I will tell you from the start, MMPR is going to lose his entire battle. But
yeah, every time.
But
Like
you know, we got the ninja. Wait a minute, we talking about the Power Rangers or the Sentai? What are we going with on this?
No, we're gonna do Power Rangers because most people are more familiar with that. You know.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's the case. That's the case. Ninja Storm might just win this one. I'm just saying because they're trained. They're super trained. Period. And then getting the suits, and that's just unfucking.
I would tell you this: if they had did Go Kaiser right, I would have said Super Mega Force would have had it because when you can change,
you know what? I was thinking about that.
But they screwed it up. So,
but Go Ranger is not the same as
I know. But I'm gonna tell you this: if you're gonna ask me the strongest Sentai team, even today, even though I love so many, I love Die Ranger, I love Jetman. I mean, I have so many favorites. I'm gonna tell you guys now. Go Kaiser will whoop all their ass because when you change into any of them, like I mean, you want to fight me? Well, I'll just turn into you. Whoop you gonna be traumatized because you're gonna be whooping your own ass.
So serious. Go Ranger is like the Goku of the
they are OP as hell. They are OP.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's move forward.
All right,
okay,
so let's go forward. So we got Billy and Don. So we're both in agreement that Dom would beat Billy. But Blue Ranger would beat Donatello.
Yeah. Blue Ranger would whip Donatello's ass. Now, when it comes to pure strength, Raphael by himself would body the Blue Ranger, the Pink Ranger.
Well, you know what I'm going to do, though, right?
What's that?
Raph versus Zach.
That's not fair.
I know. I did that because it wasn't fair. I did it because I'm your friend.
I'm going to be honest. And if Walter Jones ever sees this, I really like you guys.
I'm gonna send it to him on Instagram.
Walter,
like, look what he said.
Walter, I met you.
Blah blah blah.
Hey, Walter, it's me, Groove. I met you at Rec Room one time. I asked you questions about space cases.
You know, I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna send him this video. I said, "Look what Groove said about you in time code this time right here."
Like, and we danced together, and I was trying to go to the bathroom. I took pictures. It was a cool moment, man. But I'm gonna be honest, man. Raphael would kick your ass. He would. I'm just saying, like
I'm not arguing with you. Actually, I mean,
Raphael has that Wolverine rage. He just, I don't know, it's just different.
No, I'm gonna say, to be fair, Zach got downplayed a lot too in original MMPR.
Yeah, because
we know that he had martial arts skills. They just played up his dancing. I don't know why they did that. They made him look like freaking MC Hammer half the damn time. I don't know what was going on. I realized MC Hammer was like popular, but come on. So I think that we don't really know Zach's full potential, but if we're still going by what we think his potential could potentially be, yeah, Raphael would beat the hell out of Zach. I'm like, he would beat the hell out of Zach.
I'd rather watch Zach fight Michelangelo, honestly. I just.
But let's talk about though. Let's just go ahead and do it. And I know you don't want to do this, but we're gonna have to throw Venus onto this team for Kimberly because Kimberly. She don't have anybody, so we're gonna have to throw Venus on this team.
Venus is kind of garbage. I'm gonna give it to Kim because I don't like Venus. I just don't like Venus.
So we'll go. What about Zeneca? You want to? We could sub out for her.
Zeneca is still in training, but Zeneca is faster than Turtles, but she's not as strong as they are. So like, if we're playing by that route.
I think Zeneca.
Oh yeah. By the way, we're not gonna include the Ninja Mutant Turtles. It's a complete offside series on a different creator where the turtles are no longer teenagers, and as a teenage kid, it becomes a turtle. They name him Rembrandt. He carries tonfas. It's a weird.
So you don't want to bring in the extra ones, is what you're saying. You don't want to bring extra characters into it that's not classic.
Well, no, what I'm thinking, I'm going to answer your question. I'm just saying, like, if anybody's in the.
Oh, you're freezing. I don't know why. Are you hitting your Ethernet cable? Stop doing that. All right, I'm gonna keep talking until he comes back. So I'm gonna go back and revisit the Zach. versus Raphael conundrum. I honestly feel like Raphael would kill Zach. I don't know if Zach. Well, I don't know if Black Ranger would actually be able to kill Raphael. But I mean, in theory, he should be. If the Blue Ranger could do it, then in theory, technically speaking, if Black Ranger versus Raphael, technically he should be able to do it. He'll be back, guys. He's sometimes we have a storm out here. And Xfinity, you guys already know Xfinity hates us all. So I'm just hoping mine doesn't do it because it's raining out here. But if you really think about this, match for match, we have Raphael on one side, we have the Black Ranger, Zach Black Ranger on the other side. Who do you guys think would win? Because I don't know. I feel like Black Ranger Zach has a lot. I hate saying Black Ranger back. It sounds so racist. But I feel like he has so many skills that Zach himself does not have. And is that strong enough to defeat Raphael? Because Raphael, I feel like the basis of him, like his power is anger management. Because Raphael gets mad as hell. He has anger problems. So I don't know. And yes, I think Barry is causing another flashpoint. I think that is exactly what's happening. But no, I'm really believing that one is hard for me. I know Raphael would kill Zach. I don't know if Zach would be able to, or Black Ranger would be defeated by Raphael. So what do you guys think on that? Because that's really weird. Very, very interested to know your opinion on that. Because I mean, for me, jury's out. So I'm going to leave a question mark there. I don't know who would win. I mean, it could be a draw, honestly, between Raphael and the Black Ranger. It could be a draw. Because I don't want to downplay the fact that the Black Ranger is powerful. He really is. He has lots of skills. And again, when they morph, it's different. So I don't know. Honestly, I thought it would be Tommy versus Ralph because that would be interesting. Yeah, we're not doing the 6 Ranger right now. We're doing classic before they get their, upgrades, before, no supers, no 6 Rangers, no extra turtles on the Turtles team. It's just the classic 4 versus the classic 5, which technically is 4 and 4. Because I haven't really picked Kimberly against anybody. I wouldn't know who to put her against. Like, who could Kimberly fight and survive? Because everything, like, basically, I feel like every one of the turtles would kill her and the Pink Ranger. So, I don't know. Going on weapons alone, I don't think Raphael has an advantage. I know Sai are great against trapping swords, but they wouldn't be effective against an axe. I agree with that. I do agree with that. You're back. About time.
Look, I cannot.
I know it's raining. It's Xfinity. I got you.
Yeah, damn you, Comcast. I had to get up and go check my thing. Oh my god, dude. Okay, so sorry. Oh, what was I saying?
Well, let me get to I can definitely see Ralph killing Zach. Yeah, Ralph is gonna kill. He's going to kill.
Yeah, no.
Kill Zach with like a KO of 100%, flawless victory. But can he defeat Black Ranger? That is what we're trying to figure out.
So, like, 'tis a thing. But anyway, we gotta move forward because there's more fighters to come through this one.
Well, now I asked the question in the chat, so they were
okay. So I didn't catch what I was.
That is
too busy.
Like right now, Guido even said going on weapons alone. I don't think Raphael has an advantage. I know Sai are great against trapping swords, but they wouldn't be effective against an axe.
Well, remember, the Sai itself. I know a lot of you don't know this. Sai as a Japanese weapon was originally. We have tonfas and billy clubs for cops. The Sai was that weapon. The Sai used to be a cop weapon.
No, I don't even know if it's just that. I think what he's saying is like right here, axes are also very top heavy. Yeah. I feel like you need a 2-handed weapon to block an attack from Black Ranger's axe, which I do agree with that.
I don't think Raphael would block it that way. I think he would be okay. Remember, as we always keep forgetting this, the turtles themselves are trained in ninjutsu. So like,
I'm not forgetting that. I'm just thinking about if you think about the way they are fighting right now. Because remember, when we think about Power Rangers, we can't use ninjutsu laws because they are using powers. It's like superpower beings against ninjutsu just happen to be mutated turtles.
What I'm getting at is that
it's a little bit different.
Donatello and Michelangelo are a lot weaker than they are as far as power stuff goes, strength stuff goes. But remember, I don't think they would. if Zach came with that axe, the first thing Raphael's not going to do is to try to block it. I think he's trying to move because it's the first thing you're taught to do in martial arts. Especially if you mastered it, you dodge before you try to deflect because you got to know what the fuck you're coming up against. And when Zach swung that axe and like made the earth come up with that swing, ridiculous. I personally feel we're gonna put them like team against team. The Turtles would make the Power Rangers corner for a second. So I'm gonna put it really on Raphael and Michelangelo on this one, honestly, because how unpredictable he is and how strong he is. And then they would call the Zords, and then the fight would get bigger. And then the Turtles have a really fucking hard time because the Turtles can't defeat the Technodrome without going inside of it. So I mean, like, you know, they can fight mechanical beings, but they're not out here fighting full Zord robots and shit. They're not fighting Gundams or Gears or whatever. They're not that like well versed in that. They will need help on that front. That's my personal opinion. Only because like I think they will know how to disarm the Power Rangers. Honestly, I think they would. But you know, on a strength to strength basis, only only Raphael and Leonardo are strong enough to really do any real damage to their armor, to be honest with you. I mean, as far as a one-on-one fight. And then we're talking about technique-wise, I think they disarm, but I don't think they do enough damage. But I think the Power Rangers be like, man, the hell with this. We're not doing this. Call the Zords. Let's do this. We'll do it in big robots.
Look, Maria will call the Zords 5 seconds in anyway. So they just I am infinitely smarter than all of them. I agree with you. You said, Nicholas, on the base level, Zach, he ain't winning. But in morphing form, it would be an even match. And I do believe that. I think it will come down to luck. Or Raph would cross his size, similar to how Cheshire does to deflect against Aquaman's water bearer swords and Red Arrow's attacks. It's more a battle of brute force and speed.
Yeah,
we do know that the Power Rangers do also have speed, so I don't know. Like I said, I think it would be an even match. It'd be whoever got that last lick in. That's what that would be.
But like this is actually more a battle of technique versus power. But then again, like Raphael is unfair because Raphael is literally the strongest fucking turtle. So like him moving tons of weight is not a problem for him. He's really fucking powerful. But you know, he's a little bit clumsy because he's so goddamn boorish. And he caught him off guard. But like if the Power Rangers had more martial arts skill as far as like traditional skill, they may catch him off guard, like how Shredder would do. But they don't have that. So like they'd have to really be clever to catch him. I mean, like this is talking about MMPR. Like we're not talking about other Rangers, because some other Rangers would probably whoop Raphael's ass. Don't get me wrong. But like MMPR is a whole other ballgame. Let me move forward. We had 3 more fun groups to go through.
All right, so we've already decided that Kimberly would have her butt whooped in Pink Ranger form or not by everybody. So we're just gonna move on.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Kimberly. Amy
Jo Johnston.
I'm sorry
because they literally. She is a gymnast. She's agile. She's great at using weapons that are not melee weapons. So I mean, she would not survive with a melee weapon. She has the right weapon. She can shoot from a distance. And then move on.
However, and I'm gonna just put that out there, the Turtles in the cartoon and the comic have been known to catch projectiles coming at them. Like, what the hell?
Oh no, but I'm not disagreeing. She would have her butt whooped away, but I'm just saying that's all she's got.
Even more like a team of 4 instead of team of 5. All right, let's say. All right, we gotta move forward. Battletoads. Okay, if y'all don't know, the Battletoads actually are not originally just toads. If you never played the game, there are 3 young video game testers. They actually were American people. The names were Dave Shaw, Mike Ziegler, and Georgie Pie. I know, Georgie Pie, like Georgie Porgy, whatever. And they were working on a game, and the game program caught them and brought them in. They digitized them, basically. Digitized, Jesus Christ. I feel like let's call it that. What was it? Not Big Bad Beetleborgs, but Tattoo Teenage Fighters from Beverly Hills. That's the one. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say VR Troopers for a second.
Oh no. The Tattoo Teenage Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Alien Fighters from Beverly. Yeah,
that one. Yeah.
But there's Zordon that's made out of slime. I got you.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, so they got tapped to it. So the names: Dave Shaw's name is Rash, Morgan Ziegler's name is Zitz, and Georgie Pie's name is Pimple. Now, it is weird to sound, but then again, they're toads, and it's about skin because frogs and toads defense in their skin. Of course, their like skin conditions will be their names, and plus they were nerds, so whatever. Okay, so moving right along. The 90s was a very rude time for people like us. All right, so what are their abilities? So as far as strength, they're around the Turtles level of strength. They have the same kind of stats. They're not as ridiculously weak as Donatello is, but they're around like the Leonardo Raphael level, all 3 of them. Because none of them are really weak at all. they can transform the limbs into different weapons. So like when you see them in the game, they turn their foot into a boot or their hand to a mace and all that stuff. That is really in their power to do that. That's not something the game is doing like, oh, that's a hard to hit them. No, that's what they can actually do. Like there's no joke to that. They really can turn their limbs into weapons. And that's highly unfucking fair. But I put it in anyway because it's the truth. And they are trained by Professor T-Bird. And such a stupid name. Oh my God, we were so dumb in the 90s. And what they literally do is they go around the cosmos and they save the universe. That's their job. That's what they do as a whole. They fight this out the Dark Queen. The Dark Queen themselves control the universe itself, but the digital world as well. And so, like, she controls everything. She has a complete level of control she can possess, which is weird. She's like 6'2" and weighs like 104 something. She's a really skinny, tall woman with big chest.
But primarily all of their battles will have to be done inside the digital world.
No, because the battle told and they travel the cosmos in our world. They were just
I know that. I know that they have a basis of digital magic. So I was trying to figure out how.
No. Yeah, I get you. No, they have the same kind of priority as Freakazoid does. If they're in the internet, they're even stronger, obviously, but they can operate outside of it. They literally are who they are in the real world, just with internet powers given to them. So, like, yeah, your question was a good question. Don't get me wrong, because I thought the same. I had to look it up. Really had to research that one because I never thought about how the Battletoads were strong at their powers until I actually looked into it. But regardless, next up, that's really how I got on them for the most part. Their power is based more on digital magic. So, like, I want to say that if you can kind of cut the grid off, they may be at a disadvantage. But good luck getting with the internet. Nice.
Uninstall the game.
Yeah, good luck with that. Like for real, good fucking luck. The next up is the Double Dragons, one of my favorite teams because I love this series.
Billy and Jimmy. The live action movie was not that great, but
no, it wasn't. You know what's funny? As bad as the live action movie was, I still like watching it because that's how much I like the series.
Because it's all you got. You don't have anything else.
Hey, movie sims out there. I know you guys like color switching characters. If you want me, I will gladly be Billy or Jimmy Lee in a Double Dragons movie in the future. And you think I won't? I won't. You know I will. I will. I will definitely.
I love how you just assumed that I thought something about that. I'm like, you think I won't? I didn't say that.
I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to the ethos of.
Ethos. Okay, yeah, I got you. So apparently, you guys thought that he would not, even though you didn't know that was a thought that you had. You had it. Billy and Jimmy Lee group. Come on, get them stats.
We got. Okay, so they're born with the power of the Double Dragon. I said in some accounts on this on my notes because in some cases, apparently property is like they learned Suetsuken, but they're usually considered born with the Double Dragon power to, flourish. They have, of course, they're martial artists. Suetsuken, which is like Suetsuken is a martial arts that's kind of like Tai Chi and Karate and Kung Fu. It's a lot of martial arts put together.
It's a cornucopia of fighting.
It really is. It's kind of like unnecessarily. It's really like if you want to think about it, it's kind of like Jeet Kune Do, but close and long range, whatever. Like the wide ass stances. So like the turtles have an increased healing factor. I think the Battletoads might, but they never mention that, so I'm gonna say they don't. But
they have to be near each other.
Yeah,
kind of like the Preacher cartoon when the girls couldn't transform unless they held hands and were
exactly.
Yeah,
Billy and Jimmy have a healing factor as long as they're nearby. So if they're near each other, they can heal faster. Without each other nearby, it's like they're just there fighting and being themselves. They do fight better based on music. I thought it was just something for that new game they came out with, but no, that's just them in general. Like if they have a good sound in the background, they fight better.
They gotta have their soundtrack.
I swear to God, it's like what the hell? They're like enhanced Michelangelo's.
So if they play Hee Haw, they get slow, like the theme from Hee Haw, that old show. Then they get slow, right? We've lost power.
But if you play the Green Acres theme song, they're all about it. Doom, 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 doom. All right, this is my jam.
They're all about that Gilligan's Island theme. I got you.
Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, all right. So they do have superhuman stamina and speed, and this is only assessed because when you play the game Double Dragon and they're going through the entire map, they're doing that in a day. It's not like days they're going in a one day. They're going from one area where they're in their dojo to the other wherever they're going, catching helicopters, fighting on trains, everything else. It's just all in one day's time. So their stamina is outrageous. And their speed is fast as hell because they can literally dodge bullets. Remember in the games you play them and they're shooting at them, they're literally walking in between the bullets. They're like,
I love the cartoon. That cartoon was cool.
The cartoon's ridiculous.
I loved it. It's amazing.
In other words, what he's saying is that you got to stop scratching your butthole with your pinky finger. I don't know, whatever the.
I mean, that's not bad advice. I mean, don't hate. That's great advice.
They can harness ki, and they use it to do like hurricane kicks or fireballs, whatever. They have a Dragon Ball esque advantage, so they can harness their inner energy and stuff to do stuff like Shoryuken. They can throw real fireballs. Honestly. They can do the hurricane kicks. They can heal each other, whichever else. They can summon electricity, so they can make lightning strike you. That's something they can do for some reason. But that's part of the dragon power. And they can summon dragon spirits. What I mean is they can summon the inner dragon inside of them. They can make that big and attack you. So that's a thing they have for some reason. They can double their strength in dragon mode. It's called gleam mode in the later games. But like, if you ever play Super Double Dragon, they can pump up and like the tattoo in them will start glowing and they get way stronger. They get like not a Super Saiyan increase, but more like they get like a Kaioken increase. So it's more like a if Goku and Kaioken times 4 or 5, no, that's too high. Maybe like 3 or 4. Because if they don't punch people and break them entirely. So it's like a 2 or 3 times increase when they go that mode. They can create after images. And I read that somewhere they can do that. I'm not sure why they can do that, but I guess they can move, they can stop and go, but they can dodge bullets. So that makes sense. So
well, the question is, why can't they do that? That's what you need to say.
You're gonna make it far in this business anyway.
I try real hard.
They can stop and move so fast. They can create images of themselves that aren't even there, and they have perfect symmetry. So like their strongest asset is beyond their ki control and their strength. They can literally work as one mind. So like that is a huge disadvantage.
Perfect symmetry.
Like, all right, when it comes to fighting, two people can fight as one is unfair as shit. Like, seriously. I don't know if any of y'all know, if y'all trained martial arts, just doing combinations back and forth in a pattern can become a pain in the ass. You're talking about two people that can literally fight together as one, use different techniques and coordinate without tripping on each other. Like that's so unfucking fair.
Yeah, Song was easy, but when you start getting up in Taekwondo and you start missing one move, they make you start all over.
I know. Get to Inwa and shit. Like, oh, hold on, wait a minute.
I'm like, you hate everything about me. I got you. So basically, what you're saying, if I'm going to be your translator in this journey, guys, Billy and Jimmy are, like I said, they're the Dollar Tree version of Ken and Ryu or Ryu. However you say it, or Liu.
No, don't you dare. Ryu. Oh no, sorry. Japanese. Ru. It's just Ru.
Technically it wouldn't be an R sound, it would be an L sound. So
I know, yeah. Ru. Matter of fact, side note, I taught Jam how to roll the R's last night.
I'm proud of you. But
she really did it though. She did it finally.
Well, I'm gonna send her a Marco Polo and high five her through the phone. Yeah. Billy and Jimmy Lee are basically they're our Street Fighter duo Dollar Tree, members, but they trained with Goku and Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pitching Double Dragons against the Battletoads. This is what you're telling me, right?
Yes. In this case, yes. Double Dragons.
Actually, the full team of 3 versus the team of 2.
An army of 2. Remember that game? It was all right. I didn't get into it
which makes me wonder why we didn't use Liu and Ken. But you know what?
Reason we didn't use how they say it in an American movie, Ryu Yushi. I hated that.
Yushi. Well,
I hated that. So much.
All right.
Oh my God.
Let's do this.
Okay.
So who's first? Billy is going to go against who? Because I want to see them. Are we actually doing it as a full team? Because that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, full team. If you want to play this right, Billy is probably gonna fight. I think Rash is which one was the stronger one? Hold on, let me think about this one. It was Rash was the really cool one, and Pimple was the huge one. I think Zitz was the one in the middle. So I think Billy is probably going to fight. If anybody's going to fight Zitz by themselves, because Zitz was like the stronger one anyway, and I can see Billy fighting the other two. Because Rash is kind of weaker than them, but he's just the cool one that likes his fame. And Pimple is just like, if y'all don't remember in Battletoads, the bigger, browner one, that's Pimple. Rash is the one with the sunglasses. and the other one is its. So call it what you want to call it. But yeah.
Okay, so then if we're going by strength level, so let's break it
Strength
down
level?
by attributes.
Ooh, it's a hard one. So like the double dragons, they're pretty strong in general. If you can dodge bullets, your tensile strength is outrageous. Like I mean, even then they fight people like Obobo, right? And
Well, they had the gleam mode, right?
yeah, that makes it even stronger.
Double their strength in dragon mode.
Right.
So in dragon mode, would they be on par with Battletoads?
Maybe beyond them in gleam
Because
mode.
they're near TMNT level, right?
Yeah.
Of strength.
I will tell you like this, because remember they fight a Bobo. Bobo is that big muscle motherfucker. They fight like this. It's always their first boss, which is funny because Double Dragons and Battletoads did have a game together. They teamed up and fought people on Super Nintendo.
So then, if we're going just based on strength, we already know that the Battletoads have lost. All three of them have died.
Ish, and I say that because only one reason. So like the Double Dragons fight a Bobo can he has a strength to knock down buildings and shit, like the break through walls. They can take his hits and deliver back more. So like they're definitely strong enough to knock down a building if they felt like it. They're that kind of strong. They're like, I won't say they're agent strong, but the Double Dragons are more like programmer strong. Like the way the programmers go in the Matrix, they can do shit and jump across buildings and break things and maybe dodge bullets, but they can definitely do it.
So then who would win in your mind between these two based on strength?
Double Dragons.
These two teams, Double Dragons. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's because I mean, I guess I want to get to a second, but it is whatever. The Gleam mode, the Dragon Master mode, whatever else, it's a Kaioken. It's a Kaioken based upon their already base level strength. The one advantage the Battletoads have in this fight for is the fact they can turn their body into weapons. Like that's their unpredictability is what gives them an advantage at all. Because the Double Dragons have such an instinct method of fighting, and they are very powerful, and they're extremely fast. Like if you can dodge, and this is say, if you can dodge bullets, you can definitely leap at least 40 feet in the air. You're very fucking strong, especially the way as much a regular person weighs. You're like, because dodging bullets is the same thing as much as to punch you. Remember in Dragon Ball Z when Goku was dodging Jason Bird and they thought he wasn't moving at all? That's how fast you are at that speed. It's ridiculous. So like, I don't know. I do like Battletoads, but I think Double Dragons are just like just
from the stats alone, the only thing that I have a question about, because I feel like Double Dragons, based on everything we went over, would still beat Battletoads in mostly every category. But the question that I have is digital magic versus their dragon power.
I was thinking the same thing.
So how would that?
I'm not sure. I think it would depend on how, like, if they were near a source of, if they're out another planet, maybe they're gonna be on Earth anyway. If they can access the internet some kind of way and give themselves a boost, maybe, sure. If their professor's around, maybe he can help them and give them, like, because he's a bird, really is a bird, and he really works from his console. If he can find a way to give them a boost of ability to get them to where they need to be, that's an option. But I mean, like, back and forth, I mean, like technically
they're like very advanced technopaths, kind of like Luna is in R and WS. So like we have a character in my motion comic, her name is Luna, and she's a technopath, but she's highly effective around any form of obviously electronics, anything digital, but you put it out in the middle of like a farm and she's powerless.
Yeah.
So I feel like the advantage for Double Dragon is they don't have that.
No, they don't.
They can channel their power at any time.
Their weakness is truly just their numbers. I mean, like they're not like, they're not power bust, they're not planet busting strong. They can't like just look at the planet and be like Vegeta and like blow it up or some shit like that. They don't have that if I would have put them in a power, they would definitely be able to contend in the Tenkaichi Budokai and like the second one, like Goku's a kid fighting Tien. They could definitely hold their weight in that, maybe. But like they're strong. They're strong as hell. And like defeating them would be kind of complicated. This is why it was a battle royale. If all of them fight at the same time, those two would go in there swinging, but it would take other groups to team up to stop them in the first place because they're just really, really damn strong, like on a bizarre level of powerful. So like, it's just, but between the two of them, I think Double Dragons would beat the Battletoads like hands down. And don't get me wrong, Battletoads is a far more difficult game to beat. And there's more of them, and their powers seem more fun. But,
I like what Douglas just said, unless Luna can access the radio waves, but even then that's a reach.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is a whole other planet. It's called Bly. So there's one city in the country of Serret where all of our characters are. And because a lot of the world was ravaged by these creatures called the Nightmares, you guys are getting a little bit of spoilers here. The last country standing is Serret. So if I were to take Luna to this city that we call Asim, it's basically, think of it as farmland that has like a lot of temples, a lot of like holy men. They don't have electricity. They don't have running, they're completely off the grid. We're talking Amish country here, our version of Amish country with a little bit of Tao mixed in. So if she was out in the middle of that, she would not be able to get a signal of anything. She's cut off from everything. She would be like a regular human being and completely vulnerable to attack. So that's what I was worried about with Battletoads, is that if they are out, if I took them and put them in my city, in my world that I created, or Sim, they're screwed. I mean, there's nothing they could do. They would die. They'd be sitting frogs, basically. So yeah, I think it's interesting, because if you really think about that on that level, they would have to, I guess that's why we couldn't pitch them against the Ninja Turtles, because if they don't have skills out, like fighting skills that are on par with TMNT, and they rely heavily on digital magic, they're dead. So
actually, no, yeah, seriously. Like, seriously. Nope.
They're dead.
Yeah.
They are absolutely dead.
But I mean, it's just, it is whatever. Like, I mean, but I'm so, I know spoilers. I'm actually highly impressed, Nicholas. Very good. You've been paying attention. You understood the assignment. But let me go on to the last player in this entire game, this entire fight. So,
which is kind of OP. He's like OP.
Freakazoid is, but he has a huge disadvantage. I'm gonna explain what it is when I get to it. So, Freakazoid, yes, dun 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 dun. It's hard not to do the little thing in my head when I need a Freakazoid T-shirt. I gotta buy me one of those. But anyway, of course we don't know. He's Dexter Douglas, a nerd computer ace, who was zapped inside the internet. He was trapped in cyberspace. He became the Freakazoid. He was a super freak. He drives the villain crazy because he's a lunatic. And that's the lunatic part is very important. Yes, I did quote the intro. That one. So he is, of course, he's typing a special code on the computer. Actually, he did, and his cat did, Mr. Trubbykins, and stupid, just kind of saying out loud. And he has zapped into the internet, became a Freakazoid. And Freakazoid has the powers of the internet. In the 90s, when this cartoon was created, the internet is not what it is now. However, it is ever expanding, ever reaching, not a series of tubes, but it is the internet. That's what it is. So with that comes some interesting feats and characteristics. He does have a super intellect because he has a knowledge of the internet. Oh, that rhymed. He knows everything that's incoming at all times. Because the internet is constantly updating and evolving, Freakazoid is insane. This is why the cartoon is funny, because he's silly as shit. He knows everything that's going on at one time, but it's all at once. So he can keep up, but he can't because he can't focus. Of course, he has superhuman strength. Why wouldn't he? However, his strength varies on his mood. There are times a Freakazoid can knock down a building. There are times he can't defend against a gnat, for example. There are times when a dog could try to bite him and it hurts him, but he can easily dodge bullets. I'm explaining why this in a second. Because Freakazoid, whereas some superheroes that are super powerful, Freakazoid cannot fly. He's not a flying character. He can move the speed of light because he can move at digital speed. He can move at the speed your dial-up went. So now at your Wi-Fi level, Comcast, but anyway, your Wi-Fi level. So he can literally be here right now, and in his episode, he went to Tibet to tell his Tibetan guy to stop breaking the sand because the sound was getting on his nerves in the US. And he did that in an instant. So he can be anywhere he wants to be when he gets ready to. He has superhuman sight and hearing, as I just said. but he also has cartoon physics. This wig is kind of complicated. So Freakazoid has cartoon physics, kind of like the Mask. He can take damage. He can be squashed. He can, accordion his way out of stuff and oh, am I get the number of that truck? However, Freakazoid has been hospitalized. He has been beaten. He has had to heal, even in the cartoon. So Freakazoid can be damaged, and he can be defeated because he has lost fights before. He does have fourth wall awareness, like Deadpool, like Gwenpool, like Harley Quinn, whatever. I just put that in there as a side note. He can be like, what's going to happen next, kids? Which means sometimes Freakazoid may know the end result, but then again, he's super smart. So much of the fact he's also telekinetic. He has been known to display telekinesis in states of high anger. So when Freakazoid gets frustrated, this is toward the season 4 of the last season of Freakazoid, he can get mad enough to move objects with his mind and stuff and move from place to place. And we're not going further than that. We can play with that expansion, make him even stronger, but it's not because he's already strong enough already. And like I put in here, he's super powerful in an obscene way, but also silly to insane. So he's susceptible to believing nonsense and falling with the foolish distractions. So Freakazoid's kind of character, whereas he can, yes, Nicholas, the same Freakazoid. So he's a cartoon type character. He is strong when he wants to be and strong when he just wants to be. Freakazoid kind of follows the theme of the battle as far as it entertains him, but he can be weakened. He's an internet-based character, so you can short circuit him out. You can interrupt his flow with magnetism. The Loba has done it before. You can tell him one thing and convince him it's true by just a simple argument because he's cartoonish, and make him like he's weaker. If in the battle you can figure out how silly he is and speak out, because I guarantee you, the battle was going on, Freakazoid was on the sideline watching, eating popcorn, like, "Hey kids, this is a part of the show where folks get beat up. Let's watch." And just eating and shit until he has to fight somebody, because Freakazoid is not a confrontational character. So it would really depend on when he gets involved, and whoever gets involved with him can figure out his disadvantages from the very beginning. He has some extremely glaring weaknesses because his mentality is all messed up. But if he beyond his insanity, he could definitely, do some heavy to obscene damage to anybody else coming in, because he's a superhuman character on every level. He's just bizarre. But anyway, yeah, that's our entire roster, everybody. There we go. Finally got there. At an hour 22.
Who would we pit Freakazoid against?
Honestly, everybody. Oh my God. But his biggest opponents may just be the Double Dragons because how strong they are. But between the Double Dragons and the TMNT, in my mind, the TMNT, because they're teamwork as a family, but the Double Dragon, and then also their weapon usage, I want to say them might be Power Rangers, but when they run out the Zords against Freakazoid would give him a disadvantage. Not because he get programmed as Zords and everybody else, but he would cartoonishly trip them up, make them fall and break themselves, some stupid shit. So it would, man, just depend. Oh my God. But to fight Freakazoid, he had to be clever and also goofy, but also strong. And the TMNT, the Battletoads, and the Double Dragons have silly characters in them that can speak Freakazoid's language, that can unearth him. The Power Rangers don't have those kind of characters. Even Zack, as much as the dance and stuff, none of the characters are silly enough or goofy enough to really understand him, to get him to bow down. They would literally have to fight, wait a little bit until somebody makes Freakazoid weaker, and then Billy might feel oh, I get it. He's like a cartoon, like Wile E. Coyote. We got to convince him that he's weak. He'll get weaker. Okay, we got a plan. 3, 2, 1. And then they'll go in there and jump in and all weapons together and blast somebody. And Freeze will be like, oh no, I've been hit by the power. Some dumb shit, whatever. He's like, I'm sorry, I really am. I'm really sorry. I lost the fight. But because even in his own series, Freakazoid can lose to Huntsman. He's another superhero. Freakazoid can lose to the Lobe. Freakazoid can never lose to Cave Guy. But he's been choked out. He's been strangled. He has been beaten before. He's vulnerable. But he's as vulnerable as he feels. Because Dexter Douglas is a teenager. and that's still in his mind when he's doing stuff. So I mean, he's also insane. If he was like Delgado, I think his name is, his arch rival, whatever, the guy becomes a freezer like him, but he's like an adult, he'd be impossible. I wouldn't even involve him in this category because he's too strong and he has sense, so he's not, whatever. But like with Freakazoid, as long as that somebody can convince him that he's playing, that's silly, or they should lose, or like something overwhelmingly flashy that tells me should be beaten, he'll be beaten. That's kind of how it works for him. Yeah. But right now, my money.
I feel like Freakazoid is just OP. I mean, anybody you pit him against, of everyone we talk to, would just die. Like there's no, it's like One Punch Man. It's like literally you bring them in to kill everybody. That's who you wipe. You use this character to wipe everybody out and start over.
And I'm not saying Saitama is super smart because he's not, but he's not silly as Freakazoid is. So I would say that out of this entire fight, I feel like the Double Dragons would win only because their overwhelming strength, their complete symmetry, and the fact that Jimmy, even though he is as serious as Billy is, he would figure out what Frieza's weaknesses are by just watching him. The Turtles have an advantage, but out of all the groups, the Turtles have the weakest members with Michelangelo and Donatello. That gives them a huge disadvantage. The Power Rangers are, I will say, they're strong as hell, and they're definitely in terror stream the Double Dragons. If I were to give it a true fight, the Battletoads would hang in there against the Turtles, and they might turn the Double Dragons for a second because they mentioned before. The Turtles would fight them, be shredded by the Power Rangers. The Freakazoid would stand by the side and watch these Freakazoids. He's like a silly ass joke character. The Power Rangers getting their Zords after a point because of the fighting going on and probably stomp out the Battletoads. They would just lose at that point because they couldn't handle it. The Turtles would definitely lose Michelangelo and Donatello in that fray. I think the Double Dragons will make it complicated for a second for them. I think Freakazoid will be like, well, that's not fair, and take the Zords out, so they would lose. The Zords, they'd be in themselves again. But they would still be the 5 of them. The Turtles would be down to 2. Double Dragons is still the 2 they have. Battletoads are gone. I think the Turtles would then fight everybody else, and they would take out maybe, I don't say Trini, but like Kim and Billy, maybe Trini because there's whatever, but because it's Raphael, but depends. But the Power Rangers ultimately overpower the Turtles. The Rangers then will start fighting Double Dragons for the most part, who will probably take time to rest. The Rangers get their ass kicked by the Double Dragons because there's not enough of them to be a full team, and they're still in perfect symmetry. The Double Dragons will fight Freakazoid, and if they couldn't figure out the power level advantage, Freakazoid would still win because he's fucking Freakazoid. So Freakazoid will win, I guess, in the end. That's the bottom line. But it'll be fun to watch, and that is my crazy ass brain coming to a conclusion.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a fun game. I mean, we had a pretty good time. Mm-hmm. Like, I like just imagining people beating the crap out of each other. It's a great day.
I want Bimmy and Jimmy to win. Damn it! All right, and we can go to some of the comments now. I see you're talking about Warriors of Sarah.
We're talking about Warriors of Sarah, WOS. I gave them a spoiler because we're talking about Technopath, so I gave them Luna. We're going to, so on the YouTube channel that's linked in the description, we are going to start having bios. I've gotten, the first one is going to be Jay because I've gotten all her family back. So I have their character designs. And so each character is going to have a little mini bio with the voice actor pretty much narrating their bio over it. So it's going to be really cool. So those should start in February posting. But I've been throwing little nuggets out because people have been asking. We have 18 main characters in this. Groove is one. I am one. We have a lot of voice actors that you'll recognize from Bang Zoom, from Funimation, from a lot of different places. But yeah, all over the grid. So literally all over the grid because we got people in other countries actually that are voicing this too. But each character is very different. Groove's character I love very much. And he's crazy. Crazy. My character, I will say my character is one of the only royals in this. So we have a royal family, and my character is one. They have 4 children, and mine is the 3rd oldest. No, 4th oldest, because she's a twin. She has a twin brother. My character is hydrokinetic. What is yours?
I forget.
Pop
I'm not.
No,
I'm not. I'm not revealing it. I'm not revealing it. You gotta read. You gotta wait. I don't want to reveal anything.
So he's not gonna.
I'm not gonna say
he's
anything.
very protective of the character.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You have to wait and see.
You're gonna have to wait and see. But I will tell you, his name is Johnny. That's his first name. But I can't. And his backstory is amazing.
I'm not revealing anything.
But yeah, he will not. Even though I created this whole thing, I'm going to defer to my actors. They don't want their stuff spoiled till their bio comes out. So yeah, look at Nicholas. He's like, don't make me get the conspiracy board because I'll do it letting my mind wild. It's dangerous. I will tell you. Every time I try to share my screen, and even though I pay good money for this, it freezes. So hopefully that will not happen when I do this, but we'll see what happens. I will show you a picture of mine. There's two. My character's name is Emney. She's based off of Lakota Navajo, basically nations in the real world because I'm part indigenous. There's lots of representation in this. We've got a half black, half Korean character. We have one half black, half white character. We have two monoracial black characters. We have Hispanic representation, Filipino. But in our world, they're not named like we don't have Philippines. We don't have America. But I'm just saying they're based off of these people. So are these different cultures. So I wanted to make sure that I did that across the board. Of course, I have my character and another character are both queer. So it's a thing. You won't get any of that stuff in the first issue. It's an introductory thing. Warriors of Sarah actually is a program in the military. And now I can't tell you why, because that's going to give you more of the plot. And I don't want to do that yet. So, but if I can share my screen, I can show you what my character looks like. But I don't know if it's going to allow me to do that, because whenever I try to do things die. So I don't know. It's only with this program. It drives me absolutely out of my mind. But she has two modes. She has a princess mode. And I say mode because she has two looks, basically. She has a princess mode dress. And then she has her battle dress. Now, the military outfits have not been, even Groove doesn't know what they look like yet. So there's some things even Groove doesn't know. So I'm just putting it out there. But
in real life, though.
Huh?
Real life. I mean, I don't know everything.
In real life, you know anything. No damn thing.
But I like that Agent Groove. Oh yes, we do need that, Yito. I see your comment. And I'm gonna answer. You asked the question about Rage of the Dragons. I'm answering in a second.
Haterade. There's haterade in this world. Hang on, let me see if I can share first. I'm gonna see. It might let me do it. It may not. Let's see. All right, so this is Emney's. Can you guys see that? This is what she looks like in her battle gear.
Look at her.
So, hydrokinetic.
Looking like she smells like salt water. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl.
What's wrong with you, man? And then I will show you her princess dress. I actually designed all of their clothes, by the way. And my actors got to have some input in what they wanted, so Groove got to do that. But a lot of the outfits I actually designed. So all right, so let me go to her print. This is her princess dress. See, she's very prissy. So I designed that too, the entire outfit.
Now she smells like a JCPenney.
And she, as you can see, she's got seashells. So their kingdom is basically utopia. So think final like fantasy island utopia, basically. Everything in her kingdom, which I will say is the kingdom of Ayana. The city is called Ayana. They are very it's the city of music and art and dance, and it's a really cool like world that's surrounded by a big dome of water. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to say anything else because that's giving away a lot.
Yeah, it is. That's enough.
So that's good. You don't know what's happening.
That's enough now. And Nicholas, I was hired by Sword, not Shield nor Kingsman. So
you're in space now. Cool. Awesome.
Anyway, I'm in space right now. You don't know it. This is all like green screen.
Oh my gosh.
No,
but you guys, because you came to this stream this is what I've been doing. I've been giving people little nuggets every now and then for people that are in the streams. Because I might post something on like a picture on the community tab, but I'll never post any plot details or any like bio stuff because that's what the channel is for. We're going to have all the motion comics are going to be released on there. The bio videos are going to be on there. So I'm having a theme song written, which is cool. So we're going to have our own original theme music, which is very, very cool. I'm excited. So yeah, this project.
It's fighting rough.
No. No, sir.
Um,
but yeah, this is a huge project, and I've literally been working on the production side of this for over a year now. So yeah. Yes, whenever you have a motion comic or a series, you have to have a theme song. So I'm having a theme song. But Groove is not singing the theme song because he does not know the theme song.
Yeah, I don't know that. I could sing it if she wanted me to.
I can sing it too. I just don't.
My voice,
I don't know. But
she doesn't appreciate my voice. I'm an ugly singer.
Haterade. That's what I call haterade. He dishes it out and I have to drink it. So I tell you.
I'm sorry, but Yito, you said unrelated, but how was SNK's Rage of the Dragons related to Double Dragons? I've always wondered. So you could literally YouTube this background, but I will give it to you because
I'm here to photo bomb and
bomb
here.
Hi. Hey my little girl, how you doing?
Hello. She's on break from her job.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you're working hard. Y'all don't know. Maya's.
Oh no, I don't need to be. Look, I'm still recovering from learning how to sing. How to learn how to do Rap God. So
that's it.
Learning how to rap
God? No, Rap God. Eminem song, Rap God. So I'm telling you, y'all don't know. Maya's my daughter. I just don't tell everybody. So like that's my little girl.
How did that happen?
Because I said so. That's why.
I kind of feel like I would have understood this and known this information.
Maria, you're so
no, but you know, if this is what you need to do to get through this stream, whatever you need to do. But guys, do not be leaving this stream saying, "Oh, Groove is my daddy," because that is not true.
He's not the one I have.
Not true.
He's nothing like that.
That's why I'm not your daddy. I'm a better daddy. That's how it is. I'm a father figure.
Okay. River is actually my father figure, but that's fine.
You're my godfather.
But Groove is the godfather and crazy uncle that drinks too much.
I can never be your kid. My kidney is not clockwork like yours is.
You know what though? Good point.
I mean, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong at all.
I would say for the mouth of babes, but she's in her 20s. So
the Malkaboo is in my room right now. You get sad there a little involved. So, yeah.
Sorry. You asked, SNK Rated Dragons, Double Dragons. So Double Dragons had an actual video game that came out in 1995. It's a VS game. When their game came out, Evoga, another company, decided to create another game, I think around 2002, as a sequel to that game. However, they lost the rights to it. They wanted to do it, but they decided to give it to Technos Japan, which also developed the Double Dragon Advance game series. So they didn't. But the game was already made. It just wasn't property related. So they had all the characters. They had to rename the characters. So like Billy and Jimmy Lee or Billy and Jimmy Lewis. Adobo, I think his name is Abubo or something like that. There's like a Linda instead of for Bubo's Adobo's assistant. Marian's name is Mariah. It's really weird. Which is funny though, because after a while, Technos became part of Atlas, and Atlas, the people who produced Double Dragon's Advance. Those people who got the properties Double Dragon after a while, and they produced the game Power Instinct. And in Power Instinct, Billy and Jimmy Lewis from Rage of the Dragons appears in their game, even though they have the ability to put Billy and Jimmy Lee in. It's weird. It's strange. But Rage of the Dragons is a Double Dragons based video game. But since Evoga could not get the property rights to Double Dragons to create the entire game, they ended up only creating characters in homage, however you want to call it, to Double Dragons. So Rage of the Dragons is a Double Dragon related game, but it's not Double Dragons. But it is the same characters. You get the idea. It's like, we can't afford a dead shot, so we got a Deadpool. You know what I mean? That's not even the same thing, but you get the idea. That's really what it is. That's in a nutshell. I mean, there's probably a few more in and out technical garbage things going on with it, but that's really what's going on. That's why if you ever play Rage of Dragons and you're going through it, you're wondering like, oh, that's why the names are everyone's so much different and blah 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 blah. That's why. That's why it's like that. Yeah, like blah, 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 blah.
I'm tired, guys. So you know what? We're about to end this stream in a second because I'm gonna go watch Peacemaker episode 3, and I'm gonna go to the bathroom because I've had to go to the bathroom now for 45 minutes. So
gross.
I know I do these things, so I don't know what's wrong with me. I just do them. I know other people never go to the toilet, but I just gotta live my authentic life.
You
so
ask for it, so it's here.
What is that? I can't tell what that is.
It's a Punkaboo.
A Punkaboo. Is that a new Pokemon? I've been out of
near new. What?
Groove, Groove doesn't know.
I know. So I came to go get the Punkaboo just for Yedo.
Oh, as I said, I'm like
things be real. All right. So I voted for Surge in the X-Men vote. Just telling you, that's what I voted for. That's my thing.
I'm still on the Pumpkaboo. What is a Pumpkaboo?
Okay, we will educate you on this later.
I'm so wait. Is it a Pokemon?
Yes.
Oh, that's why I don't know. I've not been since like Ruby and Sapphire. I don't know anything after that. I'm gonna be honest.
All you need to know is that my Vulpix is cute. That's all you need to know. Adorable. There was a request made. So, all right, guys, I will be doing a Peacemaker video. If I can get Groove to watch this Peacemaker video, then maybe we can roll out video episodes, and maybe we can roll out Peacemaker so far, what we think.
I'll watch it.
That shit is funny as hell.
I'll watch it.
Peer pressure. Peer pressure. But all right, so we are going to be ending this video again because, like I said, the girl got to go to the bathroom. It's just going to have to happen. So I will be updating you guys with my Batwoman how it should have been video because it's coming. I've been working on it. It's coming. So you'll be seeing that it's going to randomly pop up. I was going to try and do it for today, but I got something else I got to do today. So, and no, it's not the bathroom. So I will have that up as soon as possible, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy my take on what should have happened in Batwoman, especially since every time I review Arrowverse videos and I get to Batwoman, I lose subscribers every stream. It is absolutely hilarious. So
people love, that's why.
I mean, if it wasn't trash, I wouldn't have to. Anyway, just saying, keeping it real. So yeah, we're going to also schedule the Power Ranger because I kind of like the idea of stacking teams against each other, because in my mind I already have SPD, because they're rescue workers our rescue team going against Lightspeed Rescue, another light rescue.
My brain is on Ninja Storm right now. Ninja Storm and Mystic Force.
Ninja Storm with versus Jungle Fury would be the ones I would team against each other.
I can see that. I won't say Mystic Force is more magic based, but and I do like them, but yeah, you got a point. Jungle Finish. Yeah, I get it.
Doing it wrong. It's supposed to be Ninja Storm versus Gokaiger.
No, Gokaiger is not.
We can't go. We can't do Gokaiger.
We can't go Gokaiger because Super Mega Force was super crap. So
yeah. So we're doing the American releases, not the Japanese releases. Be a whole ball game. We gotta go back to 1963 for that one.
Yeah, don't leave the blood pressure low, baby. I thought I taught you. So we are going, but yeah, we're gonna pin some of our teams together because there's a lot of material that we could pull from. Because there's just a lot. Honestly, if I was gonna do ninjas, I would do ninjas versus samurais. It would literally be the samurai, Power Ranger samurai.
I forgot that was a team. Man,
look, I got this. I'm gonna put these teams together. I know what I'm doing, and then we're gonna vote on it. So
yeah, you got to write this one because there's so many Power Rangers out there. It's ridiculous.
I got you, boo. I got you. So we're gonna schedule that stream. So be on the lookout on the community tab for when we do that one. I love that Nicholas is giving you a pumpkin.
Yeah, I just read it. I'm just like, man, Pokemon fucking scary. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
They're I'm done with you. All right, guys. If it is day for you, have a good day. If it is evening for you, have a good evening, and we will see you in the next stream. Bye, guys.